Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Yeah.
Birdman hand rub.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that, be?
Watch out, little bit. White linen. Big old sunshades. I got an 8-ball somewhere on my person.
Some Eddie Murphy leather on this bitch.
Boy, he got an 8-ball somewhere on his person.
If you know this show like we think that you want to know this show, you should understand that if there's no intro, it only means one thing.
Tournament time, you bish.
Absolutely.
It's hot fun in the summertime.
Another Broken Pencil Booking Company pro wrestling podcast and radio show infused with hip-hop tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hot outside, man.
It's real hot outside.
Hundreds plus.
Heat advisory.
One day we get dry, one day we get moist. Pause. And I don't care. It's still 100 plus. It's just hot. Like the weatherman forecast for air fryer. Yo,
bruh.
I was watching the news and they had a weather forecast, and up in McKinney, Texas, they had the numbers 101, 105 with no gaps.
I saw that. I was like, oh, McKinney's not here anymore.
And the weatherman said, everybody's dead in McKinney.
Everybody. It's over with.
They've melted.
That's not Cajun. That's burnt.
That's Thanos dust. I am wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Yes, he is. This is the Mr. SummerSlam tournament. Yes, yes, indeed. The WrestleMania of the summertime. It might as well be. I wish they would go back to doing like a centralized location, because that little stretch they had at Barclays.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
I mean, hey, look, if you can work a deal out where you get a venue to say, look, we're going to make this a thing. I mean, come on, that's Brooklyn. You know the East Coast gets
Brooklyn.
Yeah, all of that. And you know the East Coast gets certain preferential treatment with things like this. So, of course, if you can make that happen, but then at the same time, you know, California got that love too a little bit.
You dig? I mean,
Texas can handle it. You know what I'm saying? Texas can handle, you know, SummerSlam traffic.
I mean, there's numerous places here, not just Dallas area, not just Houston, but we talking like Austin and San Antonio. San Antonio will be live for SummerSlam.
San Antonio been getting Royal Rumbles though, so I'm not finna sign off on them getting no extras. I'm talking about for us. I ain't worried about everybody else. Let everybody else fend for themselves. I'm talking about this area.
I'm gonna have to. You have to start rolling out the red carpet every time we mention Dallas when I come back to this thing. This is my
nothing but activities like Step Brothers.
This is my last podcast being filmed from the lovely abode of the Sportatorium parking lot. It's like the end of an era, but that saga continues because it's only bigger and better from here.
This motherfucker just threw a Molotov cocktail into the Sportatorium while Mark Lawrence was signing off. Like, you make me sick. You sicken me. Had we not learned how to do this show through the pandemic and the way that we have constructed it now, this would be the end of it.
Yo, we were talking before in pre-roll about getting pre-roll and jumbling it up and adding it to like a bundle, if you will.
Yeah, clean it up.
One of the moments that stick out more than anything was the fact that when we were actually still doing shows side by side, we literally stopped our show while we were recording it, added more audio to it, and watched how the world shut down in front of us.
We were sitting next to each other when they started stopping NBA games right dead in their fucking tracks. Rudy Gobert had just fucked everything up for everybody. And the next thing you know, damn.
As a whole new meaning to the term March Madness. Boy, 2020 was a motherfucker.
Think I might need to get home.
Is this going to be the last? You know what's what? All right, man.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go get to the highs. We got enough for this episode. We're going to go on to the highs.
Yeah.
Many heads up. And then hundreds and thousands of dollars later.
Oh, man. Yeah,
we have continued to bring the funk like no other.
And we are still here. Others have tried. They have failed. We have continued to bring you nothing but the good shit.
Nothing but the good shit.
This one, you naysayers, will be no different.
None.
Man. This year will be the 36th installment of SummerSlam.
Yeah, ho.
And I believe this is the 36th consecutive installment of SummerSlam.
Mafia. I mean, we ain't took no SummerSlams off.
See, that's the thing. I think the Royal Rumble hasn't either since '88.
The Big Four, you don't have any gaps in the Big Four. And if you don't know what the Big Four are, first of all, shame on you. But second of all, welcome to your home for learning. We're going to get you up to speed because we can't have you out here saying that you listen to our podcast and you still walking around dumb as shit.
SummerSlam. Survivor Series.
Tell them.
Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas is WrestleMania.
The granddaddy of them all.
The day after WrestleMania, which is usually a Monday, we call that New Year's Day for pro wrestling fans. It's like the beginning of the fiscal calendar for wrestling fans, if you will.
Money in the Bank became the big five because there was effort put into it to make it the fifth pay-per-view.
And it's usually around the same time, but not necessarily in the same like block. It's like a month or two, give or take, but not always at the same time. The other ones, you can pretty much like clockwork tell where they're going to fall.
It's the hyperactive cousin of the Big Four. Because it's like they never really stay in the same place. There's always some extra shit going on. It's just, they're family, but they also don't leave him in the kitchen with your man, baby. Go in there, fix his plate. Go in there, see about your husband, baby. Don't leave him in there with her.
We were talking about the West Coast. We were talking about
she fast.
Brooklyn. We completely forgot that even though we talk about the stretch that Brooklyn had, Brooklyn doesn't have a stretch if not LA having a stretch.
LA was it.
LA 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
Do your numbers.
Yeah, I'm saying, look, we ain't playing no games. So, yeah, SummerSlam has been outside. Okay, if you had to pick another place, home bias out, where would you have the next stretch of SummerSlams be?
Ooh, that's rough. That is rough for a number of reasons. One, we are in the hottest time ever in terms of climate. So the places I'm thinking about would have you outside and up in this.
Okay. Mixtape it before the tournament.
All right. So
top it's just extra content. Places, don't worry about it. It's free.
Top 5 places for me. And you can even overlap with this one. Top 5 places for me.
Okay.
No particular order for SummerSlam, not named Dallas, Brooklyn, or LA. You ready?
You can include Dallas now that you're gonna make it. Now that we're gonna make it a mixtape, you can definitely include DFW.
Okay. All right. So here's what I would do. If we're gonna include DFW, I'm gonna give you 2 for 1 because it's bigger in Texas.
Right.
Alternate years. Give you a 4-year run. Dallas at the American Airlines Center, Fort Worth at Dickies.
I've never been to Dickies to know what the difference is as far as in venue, but
I see differences are roughly about 1,000.
Okay,
so it's not enough to really not enough to really call it like a lesser than venue because you're having SmackDowns in there.
Yeah, they had a pay-per-view. Wasn't the first Money in the Bank
Money in the
after
Bank.
the pandemic?
Yep.
Was that was at Dickies Arena. So yeah, same. We alternating, or you just gonna do yours? And then
I'm just gonna run mine real quick.
Do you think?
Just because of the nostalgia, I would probably go with Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina has grown in population 33% over the last 15 years, and a hotbed for legendary wrestlers. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ric Flair, some guy named Kenny. There's a number of professional wrestlers that live in. Ron the Truth Killings, the person with the most world title reigns in the history of pro wrestling that I recognized.
Can we get my dog back?
Don't get it twisted. Like he's more than just a social.
I know he's healing from an injury, but you know I need to see bro back on TV because we need that.
Absolutely. So we've got DFW, we've got Charlotte. I like Nashville. Nashville is coming up on a resurgence of like popularity outside of just like the country music scene, and their downtown is starting to flourish a little bit. And that area, like that city, is growing by leaps and bounds. So it's a little bit of a southern theme there. So Nashville, DFW, Charlotte so far. All right, now let's have a little fun. Why not, I don't know, Orlando? Obvious reasons. The home of WWE, aka or home of WWE South, aka NXT. That would be a fun one to have because you can incorporate not just a NXT takeover, but you can also use NXT talent on an actual SummerSlam and it be okay because everybody's at home. It's the equivalent of the McMahons having a WrestleMania in New York City. So Orlando will be number 4.
Okay.
Number 5. Can you imagine in August? Can you imagine Denver with a SummerSlam, like on a run? If people have gotten relaxed with their usage or the idea of people partaking in a certain organic substance, if you will, in that area, on top of psychedelics. But can you imagine Denver for a SummerSlam?
I've been to Denver recently. I can. Here's the issue you're probably going to have with that. The Nuggets are better than they ever were. So summertime probably means you're competing financially as far as the residents. You're competing with whatever they just did for the NBA playoffs.
Well, you say that, but then you're starting the football season not even 4 weeks after SummerSlam.
Which further makes my case. You got money tied up in the Nuggets. You got money and during the summer, you got money tied up in the Rockies. So it's not to say that you can't have it in Denver. All it means is that, okay, what's there to do in Denver? Get high and watch sports. At least if it's me traveling, you're gonna be on some foodie shit. You're gonna partake of the supplies, and you're gonna watch a lot of sports.
Let me ask you this, just off the top of your head. Is there any other market like Dallas where that has as much independent wrestling that's actually viable in the U.S.?
I mean, I would think so. There's some cities on the East Coast that probably do. Probably maybe Philadelphia.
But we're talking like there's at least we'll say a dime worth in the DFW, a dime worth of promotions.
Now, Texas is so much bigger per capita that you're gonna have more because you have more.
Right.
But with the frequency of activity, because like there's some promotions that even we haven't heard of that are low.
You're local, yeah.
But that's, I don't know if that's our fault or that's their fault. But like LA, they have a pretty
pro wrestling from championship wrestling from Hollywood has been around for over 20 years.
See what I'm saying? Like, so there are definitely other places that have motion.
PWG is another one, and all they do are just events. They do no TV.
See? So then there's that. I'll take Denver though. I go to Denver. I know how to move around.
Yeah. So if you take Denver, that's one for you. Give me four more.
No. I'm not taking Denver. I'm saying I would accept Denver if somebody told me.
Gotcha. All right. So run your 5.
Atlanta.
I like it.
Especially because you got Cody Rhodes now. But you saw what happened in day one. There are a lot of wrestling fans in the state of Georgia. Of all race,
we're talking 4 generations worth.
Generational. You have generational fan bases. So why not?
Even though you mentioned Cody, do not forget Austin Theory.
You got to do something for him.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Like, at this point, like, are we not trying anymore? So yeah, give me Atlanta, GA. Give me a stretch in Chicago. I know that region. I know that region is being pimped. I know it is, but still, Chicago has some of the best wrestling fans in all of the world.
It's a 30-day rule in venues, but that in particular cities, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's a chess move.
Absolutely.
It's a chess move.
Some of the more serious angles in pro wrestling over the last 20 years have taken place in Chicago. And it's some wrestlers, like specifically in Rosemont, some wrestlers' favorite venue, some people's least favorite venue, but it's definitely one that's polarizing that can generate that raucous fan base. I like it. Keep going. Chicago, Atlanta, who else?
Because of the stadium available. Phoenix.
Here is my problem with Phoenix.
What's that? Besides the 110-degree temperature?
It is 10:06 p.m. Central Time as we
do. It's a dry heat, though. It's a dry heat.
Heat is heat. You can open up an oven and get dry heat.
I mean, this is true, but you ever been in Houston when it was over 100?
Friday.
Exactly. So you know exactly what I mean when I say that.
It is currently 103 with no humidity. This is where nosebleeds happen.
I mean, is you trying to be outside in summertime? Is you not?
Outside? No.
It's hot everywhere. It's hot everywhere.
But yeah, not for nothing. Nice size market, nice fan base, and the indoor stadium is dope.
Close enough to Vegas, close enough to Cali. The venue is really what I'm doing it for.
That negates that negates the argument about the playoffs and for the NFL. Keep going because I know where you're going.
And chances are, because of Baron Corbin's prior stint with the Arizona Cardinals, there's probably going to be an opportunity for some tie-in. Absolutely.
Who else you got?
All right, so that was Atlanta, Chicago, Phoenix.
Yep.
Who I'm gonna show some love to now? You know what? I'm gonna go international because that's how we do sometimes.
Needed. Absolutely needed.
Well, I'm actually gonna go international twice because I had a surprise tucked away for the 5th. Give me Mexico at number 4.
Where in Mexico?
Wherever they won't kidnap you.
Take Mexico off the table. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I had to think about that myself. I was like, Where won't they snatch your ass? Because Triple Mania was what in Tijuana like weekend before last.
Wasn't Tijuana? Because I know they usually have it in Mexico City, but do they travel with it?
It was Tijuana because that's where the callous. That's where that happened.
The beatdown.
Sure. That was Tijuana. So give me. I ain't gonna say no shit like Juarez. Where did they play Monday Night Football?
Mexico City.
There.
I mean,
Mexico City.
11 million people. I mean,
Mexico City. Bing, bing, bong.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here's the one. This is the one I really want. If we're gonna do a stretch of SummerSlams anywhere, get me my passport stamped and take me to Montreal, Canada.
Montreal?
Montreal fucking all. Take me to Bizarro World.
Wow.
Because I want shit to go off the fucking rails.
Wow.
I want chaos. I want absolute chaos. I want you to have to work. I want the writing team to have to work. I want the talent to have to be able to pivot and work on the fly because Bizarro World ain't just going to take anything you give.
Yep.
It's just like being in New York.
Yep.
And you're not going to be able to just give me anything and call it sushi. Just because you rolled it before you got out here doesn't mean I had to eat.
Rice, fish, and seaweed don't mean that it's in there in the proper context. Like you ain't gonna use no Uncle Ben's and wrap it in some green seaweed and serve it to me and call it a delicacy.
This is not sticky rice, you bastard. What is this? This ain't yum yum sauce. I'm not eating this. This is unidentified. Away with you.
I'm gonna give you one more as an honorable mention.
Okay, who you got?
WWE's home forever and ever has been Madison Square Garden, correct?
Mm-hmm. Or so I've heard.
Las Vegas has a Madison Square Garden arena being built.
Las Vegas.
And I think next year or two, it's called the Sphere.
Yeah. Oh, they're already leveraging for an event there, but yes, that's a great point.
Do 5 years at the Sphere.
Okay.
And that'll completely negate the T-Mobile Arena aspect of anything popping off there.
Since you got a bonus cut, did you put something in Miami?
No, I didn't.
Well, allow me to do that. I'm going to put SummerSlam in Miami for about 4 years.
No matter how you call it, we the best.
So that's the SummerSlam mixtape venues and whatnot. We helping y'all on the business side and on the entertainment side because for a nominal fee.
Soon to be
a phenomenal fee. We will take some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate.
We like the kind that jingle, but prefer the kind that folds. Please.
Zell me mine.
Speaking of, I'm about to Cash App. You about to get zilled on everything.
You ain't gonna make me feel no type of way by doing that either.
We doing each other a solid.
I keep Cash App for the community that ain't really all the way
near the wells.
No, I don't want to call them
degenerates.
That. They're sending me money, so I don't want to call them that. But they're the people who have not completely bought into the idea of banking.
Credit unconscious.
There you go.
Woke but sleep.
They're financially handicapped.
Incapacitated, more like it.
Bruh, chill.
All right.
Hey, long as the money clear, we good.
That's enough lead in, man. You ready to get this thing knocked off?
Man, it's tournament time. That was damn near a whole nother show by itself. We ought to break that bitch up.
Man, it's because this is what we do. We give you content, fam.
I mean, content is king, and you see where the crowns is at.
All right, man. Break down the rules, man. I'm gonna get this bracket pulled up here.
All right, Pete. For those of you who know about Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip-hop tournaments, you know that we don't do anything without doing our due diligence. That means there is a formula. Yeah, ho. there is a formula that that will show you how we are calculating wins and losses as we go through this tournament. So, to qualify for this tournament, you must have main evented a minimum of 3 SummerSlams. 3. You need 3 main events.
In 35 SummerSlams, you need to rack up 3 of them boys.
You need to have main evented SummerSlam 3 times over the course of these last 35 to get into the tournament. Period. We will be deciding winners based on match and story quality.
Matches. Wait, I'm sorry. The match in the tournament or the matches from
the matches that belong on that person's resume.
There we go. Okay,
matches. So it takes 3 main events, but you may not have main evented every SummerSlam you were on, but you got 3, so that's how you got in the tournament. We're gonna look at your body of work. We're gonna look at your resume and examine it and see if it's got some communicable diseases or you got a clean bill of health.
Okay, I'm with it.
Memorable moments. Did you do anything at SummerSlam that we remember? Do you have something that is locked in the memory banks of wrestling fans across the world?
If you listen to the Mr. NXT tournament, we did a good job of bringing memories back to life. This will be different. Continue.
Treadmill. We call it podcasting treadmill. We be jogging your memory. And your win-loss record. It does not matter if you main evented 7 WrestleManias if you lost them all.
That means you're able to get booked. Good for you.
You're a really high level enhancement guy.
Favorite it even.
Say. But that's it. So when we look at everybody's body of work, you know how it goes. Round 1, we give backstory, we show love to everybody's resume so everybody knows who's competing against who. And then as we go forward, we move with a lot more pace.
This one's a little bit different in the sense that this is not a normal 8, 16, 32, 64-man tournament. No. For those who had 3 main events, and there's a conversation to be had. You made mention about this before we got to going here about 2 in particular, Suave. Warrior and Savage. What was the argument here?
So there are 2 individuals that are borderline outliers. There's the Ultimate Warrior, who main evented SummerSlam in 1990. 91, and as a co-main event 1992. Wasn't the match that closed the show, but it was promoted as a co-main event. So we had the conversation of like, okay, technically he's got 3, does he get in? Well, the other person who occupies that same rarefied air is Macho Man Randy Savage, who main evented 88, 89, and with the Ultimate Warrior, 1992. So we felt like we had to figure out, 1, if either one of them would be eligible, and 2, which of those 2 would we put into the bracket?
Personally,
talk your talk.
Personally, I prefer Savage because of the
we all prefer Savage.
Well, more so because of the stories that lined up going into SummerSlam. Regardless of the fact that they're going against each other, because that's the only time that Warrior really had a story that was worth a damn.
Now, mind you, in 88, it's the Mega Powers, so it's Hogan and Savage. versus the Mega Bucks being let's see, this
DiBiase
is
and Andre.
DiBiase and Andre with Jesse the Body Ventura as a special guest referee. Then the following year, 89, it's the opposite. It's Beefcake and Hogan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, for those who don't know, strutting and cutting. And Good Try Terry versus Randy Savage and Zeus, Tiny
Blister.
No. Oh
Tommy,
yeah, they never did say his real name out loud. So yeah, Tiny Zeus Lister. I was about to go like way digging in the crates and pull out his government name.
Yeah, Tommy Lister.
Yeah, but they never used Tommy. That's the
part. They always use Tiny Zeus. Like, how you gonna have two nicknames? It's like you.
Well, I didn't want to try to do the tongue twister of Tommy Tiny Zeus Lister.
Junior.
Junior. Well, you your daddy, son. But no. And then 92 is a WWF Championship defense against the Ultimate Warrior that has an undertone of Ric Flair being involved and some suspense storyline wise from Mr. Perfect.
Here's the black eye for me.
Okay.
The reason why I put Savage in over Warrior is because the Rick Rude match did nothing for Rick Rude but send him packing to WCW.
The 1990 match?
Correct. Against Ultimate Warrior.
I look at that, especially in with hindsight being the way it is, if Rude's on his way out for whatever reason, and you absolutely have to need to try to get the Ultimate Warrior over, who else were you going to put him in the ring with in 1990? They already have a history dating back to WrestleMania 4, and they have history, so it makes sense. Like, the one guy who hung a loss on the Ultimate Warrior during that Intercontinental title reign was who? Ravishing Rick Rude. So when the Ultimate Warrior becomes world champion, who is the first person you're going to put him in there with? A person who's beat him before, because there's the suspension of disbelief. You don't believe he's unbeatable because you put him in there with someone who beat him recently.
Now here's a problem with me wanting Savage over a Warrior, and then you talking this talk right here about that Rude match.
Okay.
In that time frame, when you wanted to get rid of somebody and say the feud is over with forever, you did a steel cage match. This was that. This was the final period on the last sheet of paper of your college essay.
Rude jumped off the top of that bitch twice. But this is not a campaign for Rick Rude. He's not in this tournament.
No, he's not at all.
It's Jim Hellwig, who, we're going to talk about 1990. 1991 is where he tried to hold Vince up for $200,000. And they had the conversation about, do we need to break his legs while he's out here? And then he ended up chasing whoever back to the chase Adnan and Sheik, chased them back up the ramp, down the aisle in Madison Square Garden, and was promptly fired as soon as he came through the curtain. So it's not like all of these are like super grandiose situations. And then 1992 was just like, I guess they didn't want to do Savage Flair 2. It wasn't
the same Warrior either. This wasn't the Warrior that came in and ended up winning 2 belts at Mania. Like, this is not the same person.
This was a decycled Ultimate Warrior, not recycled, decycled.
And so the edge out here is the fact that Savage's body of work for SummerSlam leading up to the match between he and Warrior maintained it, held up over the years, while Warrior was just marred with nonsense.
I mean, Warrior's never gonna win Wrestler of the Year. He might win Personality of the Year, and that's until you get a feel for what his personality did away from the ring. The only thing that
even his in-character conversations were, remnants of Bruiser Brody.
massive cocaine use. That's what it was. I breathe the air that smells of combat. Oh yeah, that's dust. That's a whole lot of dust. I can see it in the air.
I breathe the
Yeah. Yeah, that's not I didn't make that up. That's a
No, I
real
know you
quote.
didn't. I know you didn't. But that's
I call CG right now and say, hey, run off the top 5 Ultimate Warrior quotes that we had ever just volleyed back and forth in the studio. And I guarantee you one of them that comes out, I breathe the air that smells of combat.
that sounds like an episode. That sounds like an episode.
I
Live,
mean,
live from Creative Genius Labs.
do you feel me and do you understand? But it's neither one of them has like a gigantic resume as far as SummerSlam because Savage gets 2 tag matches and then he gets a match with Warrior. That's it's
But
not WrestleMania. It's not WrestleMania 7.
who's in the matches and how did they happen? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, it's Savage. That no, for real. When you said that, it became Savage.
that's literally the criteria right there. Who's in the matches? How did they happen?
Like kindergarten cop. Who is your daddy and what does he do? It's Savage. Savage in.
All right, so all that just to get Savage into this tournament, which is a 12-minute tournament.
we can fill content like nobody's business. You know how much space we just filled?
I can tell you actually. Let's see here. That was about 15 minutes.
Ah man.
With the rules and lobbying for Savage.
Oh yeah.
We have eight people, 8 men in the first round of the tournament.
Uh-huh.
The winner of these matches take on another 4, which gets you to our quarterfinal round. Now, here's what's interesting. As per usual, broken pencil rules, they're in no particular ranking or order. These were
we don't do that.
I literally put all the names in the hat, kept shuffling. Suave said stop, and here we go and put them on the sheet for your listening pleasure. That's it.
Straight like that, straight like that, straight like that.
Suave, are you ready?
I am ready.
I think it's time to run this tournament. In our first round. Oh, this is a good one here. Our first round matchups, like our very first matchups of the night, these are curtain jerkers, if you will.
Boy. What you got, my boy?
Undertaker versus Edge.
Oh my God.
These are 2 people. I mean, honestly, any one of these 12 have the capability of running roughshod through the tournament.
Which one you want to talk about first?
I don't know, because like Edge was like in the moment. You didn't realize Edge was the MVP. It's kind of like Triple H in like 2002. You didn't realize he was the MVP until you look back on the body of work and be like, you know what? He was pretty damn special.
First SummerSlam main event, it was Edge versus John Cena, WWE Championship, TD Bankworth Garden, Boston, Mass. So you don't walk in the most hostile of environments. With the most hostile of environments, fam.
And you're not supposed to win.
But what happened?
He walked out that bed. He walked out that bed.
Then you come back, get you another main event, 2008.
And mind you, he had red hot heated Lita with him too.
So this is live sex celebration. This is the tour.
Wait, didn't that happen on Monday Night Raw after?
Yes.
There's one story lead right there. All right.
So 2006 was turned up for Edge from the word go.
From the jump. Here's a kicker.
Okay.
In 2008,
Hell in a Cell.
These 2 people went against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a killer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Taker's match. Taker wins. No surprise there.
I mean, it's Hell in a Cell. You're gonna have to be in rarefied air to get a W. And I kind of beg the argument that the only reason Shawn Michaels went over is because Kane was debuting. Because otherwise, you don't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
Like me now. Now, keep in mind, Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite in-ring performers of all time. But remember, and on our Mr. NXT tournament, we talked about the varying levels of Shawn Michaels over the years. So this is 97 HBK. He outside.
Mm-hmm.
Top of his game, top of the industry. This might be the third or fourth match in their saga. But if that cage door never opens and Shawn Michaels has no reason to go up to the top and back and then come back in, and then Kane's not coming out to build on that story, there's nothing that tells me that Shawn Michaels wasn't going to get anything other than his ass thoroughly kicked. Did you see the chair shot he ate before the lights went off?
Oh man, one of the many reasons outside of the 18th the dome piece that Mick took. One of the many reasons why we don't see unprotected ass chair shots to the dome piece anymore.
That's that's a mixtape. That's the one we need.
We might need to make that shots to the dome piece. The tournament.
we can find 16 of those and get the worst one. We can put a pin in that.
There's another soundbite for you too. The Amen. Hey man.
Saw what happened to me.
Hey, but here's where Edge lost me.
Where?
And I believe it was 2010.
It's not his fault.
kind of is.
I mean, no. Before you do that, how you gonna put that on him?
So again, the meaning of the match, like the story is good, but like it's what we're talking about is a 7-on-7 elimination tag team tournament between WWE and Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
And in this match, Edge lost or was pinned by Heath Slater. No one really knew or cared about what Heath Slater did. And what was crazy was he eliminated Chris Jericho and Edge in less than 30 seconds of each other. That's wild. Chris Jericho and Edge within 30 seconds of each other.
And if they would have just allowed John Cena to finish what had been started, I'm under the impression that at least 80% of Nexus would still be in WWE right now.
Who is? Oh, Tonga's in the legal team.
Wade Barrett's doing commentary.
Barrett's doing commentary.
After that,
let's see here.
Because Slater's gone.
Tarver's MIA.
Yeah, Tarver's out of there.
We don't even talk about Skip Sheffield, bitch ass. Justin Gabriel.
What did he do to you?
Don't do this. Don't.
You don't do this. What did he do to you?
Ryback's your friend?
I don't know the guy. Never met him.
Charles Barkley status.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you just be beefing with random athletes and celebrities. Like, I don't mind it. Just tell me why.
Why not?
That's not an acceptable response, bro. If we get questioned by the authorities,
what they gonna do? I'm a grown ass man. What they gonna do? Who gonna check me? Anyway, back on task before we
been listening to Hustle Gang. What the fuck going on with you? Say, man.
You should have bought a pizza.
Now that's funny. Now that is funny. I don't care what anybody says. Mace, you did God's work right then because you told the truth.
Oh man, yeah. So we got Taker as a champion against Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels special guest referee. We also have Taker versus Taker. Ooh, there's a black eye. Taker versus Brian Lee.
I mean, I get it that you see it as a black eye. I just see it as you can count, that's an extra main event.
It definitely was a main event. That's for sure.
Look, everything that was done before the Attitude Era was not always good, but it was there. You had food on the table, whether or not you wanted to eat.
And Taker had a couple of more too. He had a championship match versus Austin.
98, where Bo he knocked Austin damn near completely unconscious with the back of his head.
And then we had Taker versus Brock.
Which time?
And I'm thinking 2015, that technical submission.
This is true. I'm scrolling. I'm strolling. Yeah, you on point. We got plenty. We got plenty Undertaker appearances.
And of course, the story there was redemption for Brock taking the W at WrestleMania 30, even though this was like 2 years later or a year and a half later.
Yeah, he's coming back to avenge the streak. So that means we have 94, we've got 97, 98. What else? Then is that his last one until Edge? And
yep. That's his last main event until Edge.
Right.
Because we had a little step with Bubba Red there.
Right. So that's 3, 4 with Edge. Edge is his 4th, and then Brock is the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go Taker.
I'm about to say I got Taker all day with this one. And the only
wait. Do this for me. How many? I know we know Edge lost to Taker. He beat Cena, and he
lost to Heath Slater.
Okay, so he's 1 and 2. Taker is what? He won 94, lost 97.
SummerSlam
lost 98. Beat Edge.
So 3 and 2. There's your record.
He beat Brock?
Yeah, technical submission.
Gotcha. Bingo. Oh, and that's the disputed finish. Okay, 3-2 to 1-2. Okay, Taker.
Taker it is. All right. And
thank you, Dr. Calloway.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, there we go. I wish that thing would advance. Let me see if I can get this to do what I wanted to do. Oh, there we go. Bam. Look at me working. All right. Next round.
What you got? All right, what you got?
Ooh, man. Another one. I don't think they really had a rivalry that they should have had, but one of his proteges definitely did. I mean, they battled too, kind of.
Who is it?
Triple H. John Cena.
Ooh.
So Cena has a streak here.
Of course he does.
He's in the mix for quite a few of these.
Starting in 06 through the rest of the decade.
Now he has some gaps because of injury, like 2009. He wasn't there. Not in the main event, at least. But he was like,
I'm starting to feel like some of those gaps, those injury gaps, are like they just gave him an injury because hell, it's the only way you can get him off TV. Nobody was gonna buy that shit that he was on vacation.
Didn't we even get like in a non-main event KO versus Cena at SummerSlam?
Nah, that's KO versus that's a Elimination Chamber.
Was that Elimination Chamber?
I think.
When Cena or when KO came in as the NXT champion?
Yeah, during the summer, yeah. That's that Elimination Chamber where they had the Intercontinental title on the line. So your aforementioned Ryback, that was that.
So here's a problem with Cena off the top.
I remember because I was in Vegas for that. What's the problem with Cena? What's the problem?
2014 SummerSlam. What's that famous for?
A memorable moment of him getting dog walked. So it checks the box of one of the criteria.
One of the best merchandises, best pieces of merchandise to ever come out of a particular event happened at the hands of Brock Lesnar to John Cena, Suplex City. That was in 2014.
His sweat is mixed in the foundation that was poured to make Suplex City.
It literally is the viscosity of Suplex City.
So it's not as much of an L as you might want to think it is. It actually helps him in this case.
I was saying he lost the match, but he won the war.
Factual.
2013, the year before that. This is This is the year before the network kicks off, and you had Cena versus Daniel Bryan, and Triple H was the special guest referee. And then afterwards, you had Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton, again with Triple H as a special guest referee as part of Orton's Money in the Bank cash-in. So Cena loses to Daniel Bryan only for Orton to have a cash-in. I mean, another loss, but you're in the middle of a shitstorm. And I think the story here was the fact that Cena and Daniel Bryan were dating sisters, which, of course, they're WWE faithful.
And all we ever got out of that was a damn reality show.
And here's what's crazy: post CM Punk leaving after beating Cena in Chicago, taking the belt, throwing it in the refrigerator as his contract expired that night. He comes back 3 weeks later on Monday Night Raw with his belt after Cena is basically being told that he is now basically the champion because Punk ain't there, and Punk comes back. So now the story is, who's the real world champion? Sound familiar? It's happening right now. Okay, just as long as we're keeping score at all. So SummerSlam 2011, Punk and Cena in LA. Once again, your special guest referee, Triple H. And CM Punk beats John Cena. Damn, that's Jesus, this man is losing. And then we get a cash in from Alberto Del Rio for the WWE Championship. Cena also involved in the Nexus versus WWE angle. Let's see here. Cena versus Orton, probably for the first real time, and which happened in, I believe that was 2007. I believe that was, and Cena was the champion at that time. Let's see here. Yep, Cena won. Yep. So there's a win for him there. Oh, and Cena also won the Nexus tag match too. Edge versus Cena in 2006, Boston. We talked about that one already. This is a huge resume. Edge wins against Cena. So like the whole "you don't win at home" shit pops off right here in Boston. Even though Cena does make a couple of key wins in Boston, just not in SummerSlam. Cena has only won 2 matches of all the ones I've named off at SummerSlam, in which he was a main event. And then we can even go to 2021 against you. I guess this is your daily acknowledgement right here.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.
Tribal Chief, head of the table, and WWE Grand Champion Roman Reigns dog walked the shit out of John Cena for the summer of Cena, if you will.
I think we've made a fantastic case that Cena hasn't buried quite as many people as we might think.
No, he's actually got a plastic shovel in golden. And in fact,
it just feels that way when he starts cutting some of these promos.
And then the other person in this would be Triple H. Now, Triple H has three main event matches,
and one classic that is not.
Was that?
Said 3 main event matches and 1 classic that is not.
But you also have him in the middle of 2 key storylines and shit back to back. Actually, he has 4 because he had that no DQ match against Brock too. But in so he had he was a referee in 11 and a referee in 13, and then the Brock match was in 12.
We counting refereeing?
Story, but because he was in the main event, even though he wasn't in the match, he was in the main event.
I'm finna toss his motherfucking ass on technicality just for that. Just because you said that shit, he out. Done. I'm not even finna do no. If that's how he snuck through, then that's a mistake on my part. Get him out of here.
No, that's not how he snuck through, because he definitely did get 3 matches in there. He got the Brock versus Triple H. He had the Elimination Chamber in 03, and then
1999
Triple Threat. Yep, and that was
you almost got him escorted out. Don't do that. You almost got him walk to his car. Now I can talk about his classic in '98 with The Rock in Madison Square Garden, the ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
Yes, that was when.
That's all I have to say. Get on the cock, pause, and go watch it. I ain't gotta sell it to you no more than that.
Yeah, because it's not a main event. So, but you should go watch it still. And 2 main event talent. In fact, the next year, he's in the main event. So there you have it. And then 2 years later, you got the next big thing. Well, and no Brock Lesnar, and Kurt Angle, and then Triple H and The Rock in the main event with Kurt Angle. So it's like wow, like what?
Is that the one where Kurt Angle got knocked unconscious?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thanks, Trips. It's not his fault. We have a good time.
All right, so
Cena,
Triple H. Let's see here.
I got Cena.
You got Cena?
I do.
For Impact?
Yeah. That man carried a decade. That man walked down a fucking decade. Let's keep it real. That man walked down a decade.
Even in losses.
Even in losses.
The matches that Triple H were in, like it goes to show you why in real time I didn't have an appreciation for Triple H, but why I have an appreciation for him after the fact. You were tuned in to see Cena. Whether you loved him or hated him, you were tuned in to see Cena win, lose, or draw. He was like the Rock of that generation.
There's just a larger catalog,
yep.
And there are more defining moments attached to that catalog, whether they're pro Cena or against Cena, to ignore the impact. We didn't even talk about the classic with AJ Styles. We didn't even bring that up.
Was that SummerSlam?
They have a classic.
Oh yeah. I'm over here on main event mode. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. In fact, it's kind of hard for them to miss, because they
don't miss.
Yeah, that Royal Rumble match. 3 weeks after, what was that? Okada and Omega. That was the answer to Okada Omega was Triple H and AJ at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, and man, that made me mad. I missed that. They're actually going down there.
You see?
Yeah, that's
all I'm saying. I'm taking Cena.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm taking Cena too. It's a more impact, more long-term impact, even in losses. Good one. Here's some fun for you.
Oh, here we go.
Good try, Terry versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Austin, thank you and good night.
It ain't even close.
I'm not gonna waste no time with this.
Oh man, Hogan,
and you got to give the devil his due, because he was out here printing money when he was on.
Hogan's 3 SummerSlam appearances all came in tag matches and one of them didn't even matter. It's because Suave explained that one earlier, how Warrior ran to the back, and that was like
88, 89, 91. That's it.
But in all fairness, I mean, talk about Stone Cold though.
How much talking you really want to do about the largest grossing superstar in the history of WWF and E? We're only starting to. We've only seen two people come close to those numbers. As far as gross box office is Roman, merchandise sales more Cena, but no one's touched the ratings that were going on back when Austin was driving trucks and Zambonis into shit.
Now, here is the issue.
Neck surgeries. That was the issue. Otherwise, he'd have ran that bitch 5 years straight.
And for that reason, he only made a main evented 2 SummerSlams.
98, 99.
That's it.
Oh, what you got? Well, hell, he may not. That's gonna count it. That's gonna count off.
If he has to be there for 3, he only made it for 2.
It's unfortunate. Slipped through the cracks. Pause.
Worthy.
98, 99. Yeah, that's. That's awful for him.
Yeah.
He out of there.
to someone who never mattered for SummerSlam.
Needed one more. Get out of there. We
Now,
got to stick with the rules.
I left him in there because of the body of work for the 2 matches that he did have. They shit
without a doubt.
They shit on a lot of them, and it's perfect that it lined up with Hogan because he shits on Hogan's dichotomy.
I'll take 98 over 88 and 89
and 90.
I mean, good try Terry wasn't in 90, but take that.
Sorry, 91. I'm sorry, 91. But
true,
yeah,
I'll take that one match over the 3 that he's in. But we made rules.
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules. Well, there's that.
As Suave says, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
All right, so for speaking of a trifecta in a row,
who was the main event in 2000?
Oh, he's
SummerSlam 2000.
He's in our next. He's in our next round.
Got it.
The Rock, Randy Orton. So with the Rock, we had Triple H and Kurt Angle, which we talked about, and a triple threat match for WWF Championship. In 01, the very next year, we had the Rock Bottom versus the Bookend. The not even yet the King, but at this point, he's the 6-time WCW champion, Booker T, losing to The Rock for the WCW championship.
Not to cut you off, but for this important piece of information, Hogan has a fourth main event at SummerSlam, 2005 against Shawn Michaels.
I forgot all about that.
And for no other reason than to see the performance of Shawn Michaels.
Supercell Shawn.
That made me not feel bad about Austin not advancing because I mean he's only got 2. So,
but Supercell Shawn though.
Everything must go. We stacking them deep and selling them cheap. Boy.
Yeah, Supercell. I don't know how mad Hogan was after that match, but I know if I was wrestling, either I'd have been found real funny or I've been really pissed.
How you gonna be mad? You won. Doesn't work for me, brother. Okay, well I'm gonna work for you. Watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
Oh man,
that's the HBK I fuck with.
And
we're gonna go out here and turn up.
And then in 02, we had The Rock versus a rookie, Brock Lesnar, and this is when we get that wild ass undisputed belt that Brock was carrying, and then
Brock is on his way to Hollywood.
It fit him perfectly. So there's The Rock,
and we never get another SummerSlam main event out of The Rock either. It's that 3-year stretch.
That's it.
And then the one classic from '98.
But man, Orton, he was damn near synonymous with Cena for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you know they 6 and 8 running mates.
In fact, they went against each other in 07.
They went against each other from 07 to 2017.
Damn near.
The hell you mean? Like, are you serious right now?
Hey, please believe anytime Orton was against Cena, Orton was not a face at all. Not even close. Even put on the classic with the Unmentionable in Canada. Orton did and won. And that's what
Canada.
Let's see here. Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else we got? Oh, can't forget the Elimination Chamber. That was a good match.
Juice. That was a good one.
D Blue C.
The fucking shark ate me.
Like the fact. Oh man, we had 12-6 Orton versus Lesnar in 2016. Forgot about that too.
Got that coconut crack. You did mention the one about the Unmentionable though, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's
yep, he won a belt then. That was I want to say that was his second title. If I'm not mistaken, that was Orton's second title that he won.
I kept count. Wait. 04?
Yeah.
04 is his first.
Was that thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
04 is how he took the title of youngest champion in history because Lesnar had just left with that title.
There we go. Okay. All right. So thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, that alone. I mean, Rocky had three good years. Like you said, a classic. That's not a main event. But Orton was a fixture in the SummerSlam main events for quite some time.
This is one of those times where I'm like, okay, being a fixture is cool and all. How many of these matches do you really remember without going back to watch the tape?
12-6. I remember that.
And I'll make the argument later about why you remember that. But
that's why. The 12-6 is why. The Unmentionable comes to mind is just the fact that who it's with, like it's slowly fading from the brain, and that's not Orton's fault because it's
a historical piece of video for those reasons, you know, because of his crowning and because of what that particular match means. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's a stretch of WWE that with as much wrestling as I watch on the cock pause, I don't go back to those years and watch any of that. Maybe it's because I lived a lot of it in real time, but the other part of it is like,
you're Mr. Videotape and DVD collection, so like, yeah.
I mean, but some of this stuff is just like it doesn't have rewatchability. If you see it once, you good. Or if you're gonna just cherry pick certain matches, but personal decision.
Okay, so let's run down the mains here real quick for Orton. We got, I believe, 6.
Okay, 6 to 3.
No. We got 4. We've got 16, 03, 04, 07. 03, 04, 07, and 13. So that's 4. And 13 was a cash in, mind you. Oh, sorry, and 16. Okay, so 13 was a cash in, 16 was Lesnar, and then you have this.
Had it not been for this back injury, he'd have got another one with Roman like in the last 2 years.
He probably would have had 2. I think he would have had 2.
Main events, 1.
Oh, no, main events. Yeah, I'm thinking title reigns. Yeah, main events for sure.
Chill. You done got me on pro Orton, but chill. Just relax. Take it easy.
03, I'm not putting that into his greatest body of work. 04 belongs there for historical purposes, and then you really can't go wrong with the first time him and Cena go at it at SummerSlam in 07.
So Rock essentially anoints Brock Lesnar. Um, has a situation with Booker T, and then the third one is it's the triple threat where Kurt Angle got knocked unconscious. I'm a vote Orton just on the fact that he got a 20 piece.
Man, but the star power that Rock was up against too, man. Like that kind of changes things.
I mean, he's a very large goat in a room full of goats. There's no way around it. Like, his impact is phenomenal, long-reaching,
Right,
long-standing.
Now we're going to records. Let's see here. So of course he beat Booker T.
Lost to Lesnar,
and then the triple threat.
I don't remember who won that one.
He won.
Okay,
so 2-1.
1 and 2. W then L.
No, so he won. He beat Booker T, and he won the triple threat. So he's 2-1.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or 2-1, should I say? Orton, on the other hand, did not factor into the. Well, actually, he didn't win the Elimination Chamber, obviously. So obviously, he was defeated. Let's see here. So there's 1 L for him there. He beats the Unmentionable, so it was 1-1. He cashed in 13. I guess that's a W. So
I mean, if he cashed in and then cashed out.
Yep, and then he lost to Lesnar. So if we're going by percentage, win-loss percentage, Orton is 500 and Rock is 667. So I puts Rocky up.
Okay, so stories.
Number one championship for Orton versus WCW World Championship for Rocky, while beating Booker T for it. Kurt Angle's that was Kurt Angle's first championship match, right?
Shit, if I know.
For a conversation's sake, we'll say on TV that's his first championship match. And so he kind of did. He puts him over on that, and then he's factoring into Brock Lesnar's first title reign.
Impact is heavy on Rock. Pause.
I got Rock, man. I was thinking.
I was really trying to give Orton like a lifetime achievement advancement. It's like, okay, you put in 20 consecutive years, no breaks, no stops, other than for injury. I was trying to anoint that, but hey, look,
you can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Whose gang it is?
All right, there it is. All right, so here we go with our official quarterfinal round. There's 4 names that you have not heard us mention yet. We got to talk about them too. In our first official round, let's go to quarterfinals. First matchup: Randy Savage versus The Undertaker.
Well, Randy, we did a lot of campaigning to get you to this point, but unfortunately, this is where we get off. Pause.
That didn't take long at all. Sorry, Savage, you gotta go.
Dr. Calloway.
Good Bubba Red for the win. All right. John Cena, you just ran into a buzzsaw. Once again, this is your daily acknowledgement. Tribal Chief, head of the table, WWE Grand Champion, Roman Reigns.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.
I mean, we can't even talk about what's about to happen this year. But last year, in a last man standing match, Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar. And now, as long as Roman Reigns is champion, Brock Lesnar cannot challenge for Roman Reigns' title. Impact, story. Oh, let's go back another year. Cena decides to come back for the Summer of Cena. Roman Reigns says, "Sit your ass down," and we just getting back outside too.
Mm-hmm. You do realize if it wasn't for cancer, he'd have 5 straight.
Cancer and COVID. Because they remember 2020
talk about it.
2020
cancer and COVID stopped a 5-year straight run.
Crack Instagram and A's
is what they did to us. But that's not what they finna do to this tournament, Cena. Thank you.
And by the way, Roman did beat Brock Lesnar the last SummerSlam that he was in prior to going out for COVID and cancer. So 2018. So actually Roman Reigns is on a SummerSlam streak right now, which will probably end this year. But the last 3 SummerSlams he has main evented, he won. We can go back to 2017, where it was a fatal 4-way: Brock, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe. Names that will probably never be in the ring together again, all at the same time. And,
probably not.
And of course, Brock wins that one, but 4 viable competitors for that title. And
the answer is Roman whenever you get that.
I mean, the only other name that's as synonymous with SummerSlam during this time frame is Brock Lesnar.
I'm just waiting on these 1 or 2 names I ain't heard yet that need to be spoke on.
Well, get ready. Cena, thanks for coming. Roman Reigns advances to the semifinals.
We appreciate you, my boy. No, that's not even a joke. I definitely appreciate you, but you lost the head-to-head. Pause. And
you ready?
Yeah, come on with it.
The Pink and Black Attack: Bret the Hitman Hart versus Good Try Terry. Talk to him, Suave.
All right, so we begin our journey in 1992 for Bret the Hitman Hart, main eventing in Wembley Stadium versus the British Bulldog
for the
Intercontinental Championship.
Put it in Wembley.
They put it in Wembley before putting it in Wembley was a thing. So then we slide further up the list as I go back to the top. Bret versus Bulldog. Then we scroll up, 1997, Undertaker versus Bret Hart, starting the greatest heel run of Bret Hart's career. Possibly the greatest international heel run of all time.
Hart Foundation 2.0.
Yes.
Incorporation of British Bulldog and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Loose Cannon Brian Pillman, the Nugget Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm. Now this third main event, this is really a cheat. It's not the Bret Hart we know and remember because it's from 2010.
He's wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, he wrestled in a t-shirt, bro. Everybody chill. But it's a main event and it counts.
It does count.
And then there's, Good Try Terry, who was already skated by on a technicality. I'm not letting you make it twice, homeboy.
Nah, thanks for coming, Good Try Terry.
Nah, you out of there.
Pink and black over yellow and red. That's what happened.
All day, every day.
All right, and then our last quarterfinal matchup.
Come on, because this is who I'm waiting on.
I'm gonna let you talk your shit on this one. I already know the answer, but you got a hell of an argument. Brock Lesnar versus The Rock.
Well, look, we already explained why The Rock is great, and we've explained his greatness. So, name. I want you to name everybody that was on that list that I sent you that we constructed this tournament with. Just read them off one by one.
All right, Undertaker.
Beat him.
Not just beat him. Ended his streak at WrestleMania.
No, but just even at hell, he might have beat him at. He might have beat all these people at SummerSlam too. But go ahead, beat him.
Edge.
Beat him.
Cena.
Beat him.
Trips.
Walked him down.
He didn't just beat him. He beat him.
Beat.
Triple H.
Beat him.
Hogan.
Beat him.
Austin. couldn't beat him.
Didn't wrestle him.
Yeah, didn't have an opportunity to beat him.
Didn't get a chance to beat him.
The person who's in this match with him now, The Rock.
Beat him.
Orton.
Beat him. Cross the head.
Beat. You just applied the same Brooklyn pencil logic that I applied to win the NXT tournament for. Oh shit!
And even our tribal chief has had to eat an L when being in a main event match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Not a lot told. Not a lot told.
So yeah, Cena at SummerSlam, Orton at SummerSlam, The Rock at SummerSlam, Triple H at SummerSlam, The Undertaker just barely skated by on some booking shit, but that's at a SummerSlam. Roman Reigns got him in a SummerSlam. So you tell me out of a 12-man tournament, one guy has knocked off at least 5 of these people at the event we talking about? Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, he says Taker barely skated by. Not a truer word could be spoken about that situation there, but it did happen. But
barely. But
barely.
It happened. It happened.
All right.
Yeah. Lesnar
it is. So here's your semifinals.
Come on with it.
Undertaker versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's interesting. My nostalgia's kicking in. I think I feel like it's Taker.
You think? I want you. Let's run it down. Let's run it down. We know out of 5 years, 3 of those years belong to Roman and the other 2 belong to cancer and COVID. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In 94, Taker versus Taker. Great story. Not a good match. Not a great match.
That was for children. I was a kid. That was for kids.
That's a
100%.
fact. And you're going up against WCW, who's taking all the older WWE talent. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
So this is July. Well, this is August '94. So you back doing Bash at the Beach, which is the first Hogan Flair pay-per-view match.
Mm-hmm.
So WCW is taking a turn and venturing into cartoon land.
Kind of. Because it's a precursor to Nitro.
The Dungeon of Doom.
Yep. Nitro's a year later.
And the Dungeon of Doom was a whole lot of part of that. There was a lot of cartoon shit going on. Still. Now WWF is starting to try to pick the nose up on the airplane from the dive that it was going through. But we still got more cartoon shit to deal with. But we're about to shift into smaller heavyweights, faster action pace, things of that nature. So yeah, this is very much the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels era that's about to overtake the airwaves.
Oh, funny you should mention that, because the next exhibit for Taker is versus Bret Hart and a loss to Bret Hart.
Bing bong. Thick layers of story going on, because that loss to Bret Hart is what gets you the first Hell in a Cell match. The first Hell in a Cell match is what gets you Kane. Kane is what gets you the Brothers of Destruction, and possibly the best story WWF/E had ever told until the Bloodline.
All right. I like that. And then you follow that up with a 1998 Stone Cold Steve Austin win versus The Undertaker for the WWF Championship.
It's Austin. Again, also wrapped up in the Kane Undertaker saga, wrapped up in the Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin story. They're all being used as chess pieces by individual sides. The whole pay-per-view was themed after the idea that Austin wasn't going to be able to beat The Undertaker. The SummerSlam 1998 Highway to Hell. Because people didn't beat The Undertaker like that. That's why Mankind is so fucking famous. Because people weren't beating him like that.
I love what you're doing with this. Let's go back to August 21st, 2021. SummerSlam, of course. Cena versus Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodline is actually a thing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, 2 summers later, still with Bloodline. And in the middle of that is another Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match in which Roman Reigns prohibits Brock Lesnar from ever challenging for his title as long as he's wearing it.
You think that was more for the people in the back than it was for just him and Brock? Like, I don't.
It was more for
they
people in the stands, to be honest with you, because how many times have we seen Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania as in the case of emergency break glass to the point where people were leaving?
Which is why I'm saying it's to handcuff the motherfuckers in the back. You can't keep using this as a failsafe.
I mean, 2018 Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I mean,
they are the most on again, off again couple I have ever seen.
And it's so funny that they're elder years,
and they don't even be hugged up on Facebook like that.
Yeah, their elder years are far surpassing the earlier years when people just didn't act like they didn't want to see them. Now they said they tuning in because they think it's supposed to be a bloodbath or
you could book that match as the main event of a pay-per-view again and do the same thing. Because people are going to watch it, you want to see what's going to happen. Roman is at a level now where you don't expect him to lose. Lesnar has been there. So anytime you see him lose, it's a shock.
All right. So for the record of these two competitors for SummerSlam. No. Actually, it's Roman for the record.
I'm talking about in the matchup period.
No, so
I'm not here for the rest of this shit. I'm not here for it.
All right, so guess it's Granada criteria.
All right. As we look at our rules yet again.
Moments, I'm giving the moments to Taker.
Okay. Match and story quality.
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah. So story
push.
We can't do that for either one of them because they both are like 1A, 1B.
Push.
All right. Memorable moments. Kane.
So you got Roman turning the ring over.
Kane. Just Kane. And one.
And then we haven't even counted the matches where they're not the main event. Because Taker's going to have more of those just because he had a longer career. He started earlier.
Damn. Taker advances.
I tried to tell you 10 minutes ago, but you thought you was going to whip up. You thought you was going to finagle some shit.
You have to apply broken pencil logic to this shit.
I had applied that already.
Bret Hart versus Brock Lesnar.
Well, Bret, I love you. And I really do. I appreciate everything that you've done.
I don't care about Brock Lesnar's record in this. We got the coconut split 12-6, and we got Suplex City out of SummerSlam. I'm good with those two.
Bret has the gold star of putting the Intercontinental Championship in a main event of a pay-per-view, of a Big Four pay-per-view.
In a 90,000 seat arena or stadium.
Factually. That can never be erased.
Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal.
The 97 match is like I say, it's the launch pad or part of the launching pad for the greatest heel run of his career, one of the greatest heel runs of the modern wrestling eras, certainly one of the better heel runs of the Attitude Era. Then there's Lesnar. Which we cashing checks.
Then there's Lesnar.
Then there's Lesnar. Bitch, I'm walking everything down. Like,
this man comes off. He comes back from UFC, goes back into UFC, pops dirty, and then signs a contract for WWE.
Okay. Think about this. If not for Brock Lesnar coming back in 2012, where would the WWE be right now?
There's no telling.
Exactly.
There's absolutely no telling. Like they don't.
Exactly.
What star do we have in the interim?
Because, and then what star do you have to rub up against someone to get them where they need to be? Now, of course, Cena's there, but as many people know, if you lived it in real time, people had grown stale of Cena just being Super Cena over and over and over again. That was one of the reasons why you needed a Brock Lesnar.
From 2011 to 2022, 8 of those 12 belong to Brock Lesnar.
Man, turn this shit off.
Just in appearance.
Turn it off. Turn all of it off. Just shut this shit down. Pencil pushers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. SummerSlam. I guess, I mean, I need to go over the final. The final is Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, but
and he beat him too.
Swap.
And he beat him too. Your winner and the first ever Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling podcast and radio show infused with hip hop, Mr. SummerSlam, the beast, Brock Lesnar, beat people up.
Share, like, subscribe, download. At Broken Pencil BC on everything.
12-6, and then roll credits in the lower third. It's over with.
At Broken Pencil BC on what?
Everything.
Swap, take them to the house.
On your head. Suplex City, bitch. Pencil pushers. Heads up, pencils down.
Love you, Texas.
Man, tell him next time. Like if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, then shut the fuck up and hook him up. What you mean?
I'm not gonna throw headphones 2 episodes in row swap.
I don't know what you're holding on to him for. You finna have to pack them bitches up. But say, man, y'all saw he tried me. Man,
my heart.
Oh no, don't go Fred G. Sanford and ran this bitch now. No, Elizabeth, he ain't going nowhere.
I'll be dead. It's your chance.
Look, what it was, he thought he's gonna be able to play me right before we get on the plane. No. You think just because we was in the same, this is our last time in the same state, that you gonna play me?
Last time as a resident, not my last time.
Last time as a resident of the state.
Bigger and better.
You keep trying me, you end up as a ward of the state. Stop playing the fuck around with me, man. 12-6.
Convict.
Akon and Young Jeezy. Time to take it easy.